Right, what's up guys? It's your boy ChronicTurbo. Here we are with another vehicle today. Today we have a 2020 Lincoln Corsair. This is the base trim, but it's still a Lincoln. It's technically Ford's luxury brand, and you do have some nice touches. You have chrome on the grill here, LED headlights. You do have your amber turn signals right there, and they are LEDs as well, which is nice. No fog lamps on the vehicle. I know a lot of manufacturers are actually doing away with fog lamps. I know it was a craze at one point, but it's slowly starting to go away over time. And honestly, I'm a bit fine with that. You do have Corsair logo right there, and you have gloss black on the mirror caps as well. Same thing going on the pillar right here. The vehicle is a bit dusty. I just rode through a dust storm. You have gloss black basically all around the trim for the windows as well. You do have flat black going around the bottom. Does get a bit ashy with some wear and tear, but that's fine. Then you have LEDs going across the back for the tail lights and the rear turn signals, or hazard lights as I have on right there. You do have dual outlet exhaust for the rear, which is nice, and your parking sensors are visible, as you can see. I hate the fact that the windshield wiper is not tucked under there, being that it's a luxury vehicle, but I'll go ahead and let it slide. It's on the cheaper side. You do have a shark fin antenna for your radio, so that is nice. You don't have something sticking up, as expected with a luxury brand. Now, let's talk about dimensions of the vehicle. This vehicle is 180.6 inches long. Width is 76.2. Height is 64.1. Wheelbase between the wheels is 106.7 and ground clearance is 7.9 inches. Now, curb weight, 3,702 pounds. Now, it's a lot of weight. And we're going to talk more about the powertrain and how much horsepower you have to move that weight once we pop the hood. But for now, let's go ahead and pop the trunk and take a look at this 27.6 cubic feet of space. All right, here we are inside the trunk. That seat is moved forward a little bit, so there's actually a little bit more space, but it's 27.6 cubic feet of space. But the seats folded down, you get 57.6. So very class competitive, very nice. And you can actually fold the seats down here with this button. But as you can see, that seat was moving a little bit too far forward, so it's hard to fold that down. But there we go. That one folds just fine. You do have a 12-volt outlet back here. That's pretty much it for connections. Art touch all around. You do have all-weather floor mats, which is very nice. This is a personal vehicle example, as you can see by the temporary tags. It's not going to be perfectly clean, and I apologize for that. But I try to show you stuff that is always either used or slightly new. I may have shown a brand new vehicle every now and then, but I try to stick to the used stuff because, let's be honest, most people are buying used cars. You want to see a new car review? There are a ton of YouTubers doing that. I'm trying to do something different. Now, for the wheels, you have 225 on the wheel for both the back and the front. These are 18-inch alloy rims. So that's very nice. 18 inches. I mean, it could be a little bit bigger, but you always could go to the higher trims if you want something like that. But let's go ahead and pop the hood, and I'll show you what that's like. All right. Does have a prop rod. I mean, not a prop rod. It does have hydraulic hood struts. I don't know why I've been messing that up lately, but that is wonderful. And as for under the hood, we have a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine making 250 horsepower with 280 pound-feet of torque. It is paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it is front-wheel drive. This is not the all-wheel drive model. Fuel economy, you're looking at 22 in the city, 29 on the highway. Towing capacity is 3,000 pounds. Not too crazy impressive, but 250 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque, that's adequate for most people. Most people don't need a car that has over 300 horsepower. You know, we live in a day and age where everybody thinks they need to have a 500 horsepower car, but that is actually not the case. But let's go ahead and check out the back seat. I'll show you what that leg room is like, and then we'll go ahead and hop up front, look at some of the materials and everything, and then we're going to end the video. All right, we are in the rear of the 2020 Corsair. Plenty of leg room. I'm sitting behind myself. I was literally just sitting in that seat right there. Headroom, I have a ton of it. I'm 6'1". I'm a big guy. 200. I'm on the heavier side of 200. I'm closer to the 3, so I'm a big guy. Go ahead and lift the seat up. I have a ton of room. You can fit another adult right here. Let me show you the armrest. No cup holders in the armrest, which is shocking. But leather does feel very nice. I'm comfortable. You do have your AC vents right here, and you do have 2 USB Type A ports down there. Cargo nets on the rear of the seat. Not very premium, but the materials on the back of the seat, it is leather, so it feels nice. Go ahead and look at door materials. As you can see, you do have like this trim. It is plastic, but it feels very luxurious. This is leather right here. This is cheap. The speaker grill is very cheap. You do have this piano black trim right here. This is soft leather. Very hard plastic down there at the bottom. Has a lot of flex. This is solid up here. This flexes a bit. And honestly, for this to be a Ford product, I mean, I know it's Lincoln, but it's still Ford at the end of the day. For this to be a Ford product, I'm pretty satisfied with the materials in here. I do wish the headliner was black, but being that the interior is also beige as well, I kind of give them a pass on that one. But I always love black interiors. They always bring that extra je ne sais quoi, you know, that you're looking for when you're doing or buying luxury. But that's enough for the rear. Like I said, plenty of space back here. I'm comfortable. Let's go ahead and hop up front and see what we got going on up there. All right, I don't know if you heard, but that's the chime upon stepping in. When you open the door, very nice and welcoming. It's kind of soothing in a sense. It's not super annoying like the typical Ford chime that you have. You do have an 8-inch screen right here, which is nice. You have a driver screen in the middle, and you do have a digital, I'm talking about some digital. You have an analog tachometer and speedometer, which is nice. You have your engine temp right there, your fuel level right there, leather wrap steering wheel. You do have your voice controls right here. It's kind of in a weird spot. You're going to hit it a lot by accident, and it's going to be very annoying. Trust me, I've been driving this vehicle, and it has been happening to me. So it's a thing. Now, the steering wheel itself is a bit annoying with the, gloss black. You do have some controls hidden in here. Of course, you press different things. You have your cruise control. You press the cruise control button, your cruise controls pop up. You turn it back off, just like that. Same thing over here, gloss black. You do have your Lincoln insignia. You do have some storage space down there as well. This actually goes pretty far back, so you have a good amount of space to put things. AC blows really nice in this car. I mean, it's a hot day. I expect it to do so. Glove box is damp and lined with felt, and it is a good size. As you can see, owner's manual inside. Bada bing, bada boom. I had to turn off the hazards. I'm so sorry for the clicking that's been going on. And I didn't realize how loud my mic was picking it up, but it was actually pretty annoying. But let's go ahead and continue. You do have illuminated cup holders. And as for center console storage, goes pretty deep, at least deep enough for most people. Coin holder right here. It sticks right there on the side. Pretty average. But average is not always a bad thing. A lot of people think that word has a negative connotation, but average is good when you're talking about vehicles. Now, materials. Let's do it. Soft touch. Hard touch. It's kind of like a aluminum trim, but it's not actually aluminum. You do have piano black right there. This is soft touch. This is plastic. This is also plastic. It's just meant to look like metal. This is soft touch. This is soft touch, but underneath, this is hard touch, but underneath is soft touch. So that's actually a weird design. I don't know why they did it that way. It's your start button right there. More soft touch materials right here. Soft touch up here. The door panel is pretty much the same as the rear seats. Leather where you're going to pretty much be contacting the most, and then hard touch everywhere else. So it's to be expected. This is not the highest trim. Like I said, this would satisfy almost everyone. And we're going to go ahead and look in here. You do have LEDs, which is nice. I love that when you get LED illumination lights inside a vehicle. All around is LEDs, so that is great. As for the seats, they're very comfy. The leather is very soft. They are heated and ventilated, as you can see right there. And you do have your controls right there. You do have your knobs for your AC, so you can control your fan speed. You do have physical buttons, which is nice because on a hot day, You're not trying to fiddle around with menus or anything like that. So that it is very nice to have tactile buttons instead of just having to touch on the screen all the time. Here's your drive mode selector. As you rotate the dial, as you can see, your different displays pop up. Pretty cool. If you've been in a Lincoln lately or any type of Ford product, you kind of know the deal with this already. But I'm going to call it a day on that, guys. It's pretty much it. You know, other than like your door controls for your seating positions being right there, you can also adjust it on the screen as well. As you can see, driver's seat, you can adjust your lumbar and everything like that. This is an honest review. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't make it pretty. And, you know, I just try to appeal to the average consumer. And that's what helped me stand out from the rest of the YouTubers, because there are a lot of large YouTubers that do car reviews already. And what helps me stand out is the fact that I appear as a human. I make mistakes. I leave them in. If I have trouble cutting on a car, I leave that in because I want you to see how difficult it is to actually interact with some of these vehicles. Some of these vehicles are really annoying to drive and deal with on a daily basis. Like with this one, I kept fumbling around looking for the shifter, and it's right here. Like, it's not something you could really do blindly. You make a mistake and press the wrong thing, especially when you're loading up on a flatbed like I do, and you have to reach around a lot blindly. And I kept hitting the wrong button. But that's it. Love you guys. Peace.